Greetings, Inquisitors, and welcome to the Holocron. This is the week 178 update for the Darth Loquitur account. I update this account's progress every week, go through all the character ships, mods, Datacrons, the upgrades that I'm doing so that y'all can follow along, and chat about anything that's relevant to account building. So please, as we get started, remember, hit that like button. It helps me, it helps the channel. I appreciate if you could help me out with that. So first things first, we did get our last Inquisitor up to relic level 6 to be exact. And here I go into the event, and I had garbage mods in my characters, but I decided to go ahead and try and see what I could get done with bad mods. And yeah, we barely got through Grand Inquisitor there. So we made some changes, came back in, tried it again, and we're going to get the same result here. Still not very good, and this is where you pretty quickly be convinced that you have to at least put good mods in these characters to have much of a chance. And I just stripped mods off of Galactic Legends and switched them around until I was happy with the result. So we go back in with better mods, and we fight with Mr. Ezra Bridger, and he pretty quickly takes out the whole team. So yeah, I got some issues there. We go in. What I'm looking at is this recovery skill with the Zeta, and I said, okay, fine. It looks like we might need that. It gets you a cooldown, gets you more instances of healing, and we go back in on Ezra, and this time he kills my 7th sister right away, so that's pretty much a no-go. We're going through looking at characters, trying to figure out if there's some Omega skills that we can apply. I put some more stuff on 5th Brother here, finish out a few of his skills, and then go back in. And then I think, you know what, 5th Brother probably isn't the best lead for this, so we go with 2nd Sister. Come back in and try to get this Grand Inquisitor done, and that goes pretty well. We get in on Ezra Bridger. And this time, we get our 7th sister taken out right away. And I paused there with 7th sister taken out. I didn't feel like I had much of a chance of getting that done, so I didn't in the end. So we take a look at some stuff, and I was thinking about putting some more Zetas on, but then I thought, you know what, I'll just be patient. We'll give this a few more tries, and we'll just see if we can get Ezra Bridger under control. So what I did here was I tried to very carefully time out the skills that remove buffs, and we got it. We got Ezra Bridger killed. Kanan Jarrus was no problem the first try. Then we had Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, and the first time I tried this battle, it really went on a long time, and I kept trying to time things so that I could get a sequence of big hits together. But after she killed a couple characters, I was down to 3 characters, and I just couldn't get a sequence that worked. Come in here a second time, same thing, let these stacks of this debuff build up. She did kill 1 character, got me down to 4 characters, but then I was able to time the debuffs and get all that worked out. Get some big hits in a row, got Fulcrum down. And then we come in here on Grand Master Yoda. This battle took quite a long time. He gets a lot of foresight. He gets a lot of buffs that he steals from your Inquisitors, so you have to be careful about what buffs you put on yourself. I kept getting heal over times on myself, and when he stole those, it was not pleasant, so we had to quit doing that. So then this battle here against Maul. I've heard that Maul can be a problem, but he really wasn't a problem. We took him down in one go. And then the last one against Kenobi, same thing. Kenobi hits pretty hard, but with the heal spell up, we didn't have any problems. And that's it. We unlocked the Grand Inquisitor. So, not too bad. I started taking his gear tiers up. Just got an initial set of gear and skills on him like I usually do. Went in for the ship. Since we've got that ready to go now, we go ahead and take that ship up and pretty much put as much stuff as we can into it. Then coming back in for the weekly updates at my normal time. Had all the Inquisitors out to Relic 7 by now, so I got the last Inquisitor from Relic 6 to Relic 7 during the rest of the week. And now here we go on the Grand Inquisitor. Got him up to gear 9, and then 10, And then at 10, we're short a little bit on our Kairos, but we're also short on this Mark 6 detonator. So I didn't feel too bad. I felt like I kind of misapplied a Cairo last week, but in the end, it didn't stop us because we were short on this detonator anyway. So we wouldn't have been able to take him straight to gear 12. Okay, fine. We'll get him next week. Working on mods. Cut down to like 12 gray mods here to work on. So we're slicing them up. Here we get a 14 speed mod, but then it doesn't hit on the way up. And I don't feel like taking it to 6 dots. Here's a 9 speed mod. It's decent, but we're not going to click it. Here's an 8 speed mod, but it's on a cross with potency, which is nice. So I go ahead and give it some more chances. Here's a 9 speed mod. Here's Miss. And we'll go through the blue stuff. And then coming out of the blue stuff, the first mod that I try to slice, I come in here. This is 11 speed on 3 rolls, so we're not going to work on that. This is 10 speed with crit damage. Pretty nice mod. But I'm already out of slicing materials. So yeah, that went pretty quickly. Out for the week. So we're going to go in on this Grand Inquisitor and put mods on him now. Got him started, got some initial levels on him, got some gear tiers on him, so time for some mods as well. And they're decent mods. They're middle of the road stuff that I have left over. We haven't, of course he's not gear 12 yet, so we can't apply the 6 dot mods to him until later, so he'll get remodded once we've got everything all settled. Going in on Datacrons, I did push a Datacron here up to 8. When the old set gets destroyed, you get to cash out, and I had to use up all my money and resources and work on a few mods ahead of time. So we did get a mod built here. This is a Darth Bane. I really want the Darth Sidious one, and I kind of want it before the next round of Grand Arena, but I don't have any of the materials farmed up to re-roll at the highest level. I don't have a Zone 5 done yet, so we'll get Zone 5 done and hopefully be able to farm up some of those before the next Grand Arena. Here we roll a resistance mod that has the Amelin Holdo mechanic, so we're going to keep that. And we're going to try a team of Rey and Ben Solo and Holdo. Here we go in on another Datacron, and we get a Jedi Datacron. I do want to try for a Rey Datacron. This one has a couple health rolls on it already, so I feel like that might be good for a Raycron. So I go ahead and start working on that. Here we get another level 5 Datacron just for some stats to have. And this set's better than some of the sets have been, at least the last 2 sets in my opinion. So we're a little more invested in trying to get Datacrons this time around. Then I go into Grand Arena and I start to reset a bunch of things here. And looking at this Galactic Republic fleet, and I switch things around, and I end up putting Marauder in as one of the starting ships. I got Radis on defense, but then I decide, you know what, I need to at least put Malevolence on defense so that I have Malevolence, Negotiator, and the Chimera fleet. Then I go through and I work on trying to get my Datacrons updated on my defensive teams. And I do put together this Holdo team with Rey, Holdo, and Ben Solo. But then if we're going to do that, we have to at least put some decent mods on Holdo. So we go back in, we remod her with some decent health and protection stats. Try to make her a little bit tanky so she can do more of her job and give her quite a bit more speed. We're going to take Mace out of the Qui-Gon team and put in Grandmaster Yoda there. Again, not ideal not having a tank in that team, but there's I miss Mace Windu when I don't have him on offense. Here we go to the Leia team, and we're going to pair up Leia, R2, and then I'm going to pop Lando in here. The Lando-Cron just gives a bunch of assists, and I'm hoping that in 3v3, with fewer characters, with Lando popping out assists, maybe this team will be, let's say, dangerously high damage for some opponents who may not expect it. So we're going to put in that Lando-Cron. We're just going to try it. It may not be the right thing to do. Again, we may need to put a better character in there, a tank, for example, or Drogan or something like that. But yeah, for now, we're going to try the Datacron, and we're going to throw Lando in there and see if Lando can surprise somebody. So we modded him for offense. We got him up to 6,800, which his offense isn't really that high, so 6,800 is decent. So we'll take it, and we'll see what happens there. After the first few rounds of GAC, we'll change it around if we need to. We can take that Lando crown and put it somewhere else too. We got plenty of Rebel teams that we could put together if we wanted to. All right, so let's take a look at week 178. We've got up to 9.06 million. We crossed the 9 million barrier. We crossed it in a hurry. Of course, we built a ship. Once you unlock a ship like the Scythe and build it up, then of course it's I think 45,000 galactic power even for that ship without a relic Grand Inquisitor. So popped our galactic power up quite a bit, over 9 million now. It's a landmark. All right, relic, 152 relics, 133 zetas, 17 omicrons. JMK still top 50. Fleet, we're still getting top 5 with the Executor. GAC, we're Kyber 2. And the project is to get Grand Inquisitor done next week. That could be a little bit challenging. I still need quite a few Kairos for him, but I think we can pull it together. I think we'll have a relic Grand Inquisitor next week. The farming plan is the same. We're farming up all these characters for newer stuff. B28, Ser, Tarful, Saw, Keller and Beck. Paz Vizsla is also in there being farmed. In Fleet, IG-12, Cantina, we're doing signal data. And then Mod Energy, we're going to farm slicing all week. We ran out of slicing materials. I've had this before where I just completely run out of the slicing materials. And I've got I don't know, 4 or 5 mods at the blue and purple tiers that I want to slice up. So we'll go ahead and take a week and just farm a bunch of slicing materials. On the refresh strategy, I am going to continue to dump a whole bunch of extra refreshes into the regular energy Cairo Tech shock prods and try to get that Grand Inquisitor done in the week. 2024 planning, we got the Grand Inquisitor up top. We're working on Jedi Knight Cal Kestis as the next journey that we're doing. But we do have a bunch of characters that we want to relic in between because it's going to be a while farming up those characters. The priority list that I decided on, B2, we're going to finish out a Grievous team, and then we're going to do Stormtrooper, Death Trooper, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. And then we'll look at a tank like Baze or Stormtrooper Han to help the Leia team, and then Iden Versio herself. And perhaps by then things will have changed. We may get a Darth Bane sooner, and we're going to want to build Darth Bane as soon as we can. So there's some things like that to consider. Now, for the Grand Inquisitor journey itself, I did that. I had a relic, one relic 6 Inquisitor, and the rest were relic 7. I did put some of my best Galactic Legend mods onto those characters. But I only had 1 Zeta, just the ID9 Enemy Intelligence on 7th Sister to get the heal 1 turn more often. I think it knocks the cooldown from 4 to 3 turns, which I especially in the Ezra Bridger 2nd tier, I feel like that made the difference because he would get a character almost killed, and then usually the heal was up and I could get that character back off of death's door. And I think that bought me enough time to get Ezra dead. So just something to be aware of. I didn't have to use a Zeta. I thought maybe I could do it with no Zetas at all, but that one seemed to make the difference on Tier 2. Of course, I didn't try Tier 2 100 times or spend 3 hours doing it. Maybe I could have done it without that Zeta. But yeah, it was it was the most annoying out of the tiers. But in total, it took me 54 minutes, even with the mod changes. So I was recording it, and at the end of recording session, it was 54 minutes of footage. So it wasn't too bad. It felt like longer when I was doing it, but not too bad overall. So the Fulcrum tier, it did take some pretty big hits to kill Fulcrum, kind of stack up the purges and then use skills that do big damage. I think if you had slower characters, it probably wouldn't, I could see with this tier would really be hard. So you have to kind of time out removing the buffs on both the Fulcrum tier as well as the Ezra Bridger tier. So with Fulcrum, we removed the buffs, got her weak, and then killed her. I think maybe I got lucky getting that in the second try. But I think if I was having problems with that, if I would have been struggling with that for longer, I probably would have just put the Zeta onto 8th Brother. He's got a skill that once you put the Zeta on it, it does armor shred. And I think with armor shred, then that tier wouldn't have been too much of an issue, because it wasn't that hard keeping characters alive. We could use the heal to get crit immunity, and her hits are weak. When she can crit, she has huge bonuses to her crit damage. So as long as you can keep the hits not a crit, it's not too hard to keep your characters alive. So yeah, that's what I would say if you're having problems with the Fulcrum tier. Probably put the armor shred onto 8th Brother. All the remaining tiers were no problem. The Grandmaster Yoda tier, I had to, partway through, he got himself healed up way too much from stealing my buffs on my characters. And I didn't really need to be using those skills and be buffing my characters. So I think the 5th Brother's last skill gives protection up, and he stole that protection up as well. So just be careful what skills you use on the Yoda tier. Don't give him a whole bunch of buffs for free, and it worked out just fine. And then the Maul tier, again, I did it first try. I've heard that one's a problem with just random skill use from Maul being pretty destructive, but with the ability block from Seventh Sister, and I guess my mods were just fast enough that I took him down pretty quickly. And then the Kenobi tier I didn't think was any problem at all. So there you go. That's my summary of the event. If that helps anybody in the future, great. And if not, then at least I've just kind of documented this so I can go back and look when people have questions and remind myself of how I did. I did rearrange some teams in Grand Arena. We're trying that Holdocron. We're trying the Landocron with Leia. And we put the Scythe with the Chimera fleet on defense. I'm hoping that Rey and Leia can get some holds up front, and maybe we don't have to have the opponent fighting our fleets. So we'll keep some of our best stuff on offense and try to do more clears. The other thing, I think I'm going to try Conquest Red Box this time. When I read through the feats, they all seem like things that I can do with the account that I have. In the past, there's been too many feats that have been with characters that I don't have. But this time around, it seems very doable. The data discs seem worse in a way, but the combination of data discs with the leadership disc that you can get, it does open up some new possibilities. And leaders that are also, supports, if you get that Datacron that gives your characters damage equal to a percentage of their max health, you support characters then go through the roof. And that's going to allow me to do a lot of things that I wouldn't normally have been able to do in terms of the feat, I believe. So I should be able to red box this. We're going to give it a try. Conquest's not my favorite game mode. I don't like spending that much time in there. But if I could accelerate how fast I get Bane, and if I could get Queen Amidala, at the end of this sequence of Conquest, that would be pretty nice. So I think I'm going to try red boxing. Well, we've got, this sequence of feats in Conquest. So give it a try, see where it goes. All right, that's going to wrap up the account review for week 178 for the Darth Loquitur account. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't done that already. Use the notification bell so you know when I'm doing my live streams. Of course, join us over on the Discord. The link is up above. It's down below. We've got a pretty good Discord community, a lot of friendly people over there willing to help out. You'll get serious, non-sarcastic answers, a lot of good help for newer players. Trying to figure out how to build an account, a lot of resources to manage your account building. So hope to see you over there. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next Holocron.